Hello, Internet. Now, as we all know, Kenshi is not the easiest of games at times. It can be pretty rough. It's got some pretty nasty things out there to get us. And every now and again, we wish Kenshi might cut us a little bit of a break. One of those breaks would be, it would be great if we could just take over a settlement or something that's already established so I don't have to do all that work. Unfortunately, Kenshi does not quite work like that. However, there is a situation where it kind of sort of does. Now, you might already be familiar with all the crud floating around here, but we have this lovely little base. You might know where this is already, but for those who don't, this is the not-so-secret drug farm. You can see here it's just east of Flats Lagoon, tucked away in all these ashy mountains. Now, we really can't take it over. This is an owned place, so we can't quite use it, but in a sort of ad hoc way, we can. And you might be wondering, what would I want with a secret drug farm? What possible motivation could I have for such a place? Well, you will notice in each of these houses, save of course for this busted up one, that there are hydroponics of hemp. And we have here a hemp processing piece of machinery. And if we loot it, we can see hemp plus water makes hash. And if we rifle through these boxes, I already sold those, but you can see here, they have a hash storage. They've got all kinds of hemp. Wouldn't it be great if we could somehow take this over? Well, the good news is we can. Now, a word of warning, in some of these houses, you'll see I've already opened the doors, but some of these houses will have little iron spider security bots. I'm not going to tell you which ones. You get to discover that fun for yourself. I definitely suggest not being a wimp when you show up. But what we're going to need to do is build a well. With well, we can make water. With water, we can actually start watering the crops. With water, we can grow the crops and then use that to make hash and make a lot of money. And we can do all that without having to go through the rigmarole of exploring and finding all kinds of AI cores and high-end blueprints. They've done all the hard work for us. It's not our fault if they're not here anymore. So, what we need to do is find a place to build our well. And we can't put it here, we can't put it here. You can see it's blue, and blue means, as it says there, you're too close to another town. So we have to go a pretty far ways away, and that's about as close as I can get. Up there on that hill, a good little clip. But that's okay. We're going to build it up here anyway. I'm going to show you why. Got a Leviathan off in the background, doing its cool Leviathan thing. You might be wondering, if we have this free hash farm, why wouldn't I just come here immediately and set up shop? Well, the Leviathan there is a pretty good indicator of why you might not want to. This is not the most safest of places. And you might have seen in the intro there a little fella running by, and down there we've got, even from up here we can see a lot of blood. This is not a safe place. We have the Southern Hive here, which sends patrols up here. We have crab raiders that will come from here, and they will patrol this way. We have the skeleton bandits, which are not the skin bandits. Those are the cool guys. The skeleton bandits are those nerds who are LARPing as robots. And then we have gorillos and land bats. So this is not a place for the faint of heart. This guy can survive on his own because he's kind of ripped, but I would definitely suggest bringing at least a well-trained and organized team when you come up here. A small group would be fine, 5-6 people, you'd be rocking the place. But so we've got our well, and this is great. But what the well does, as you can see on our map, is we now have an outpost. And now that means, you can see here, we have an outpost range. So I can go back into well, and you can see I can place a well even closer. So I can get about here. You see I still can't get down here. This is still kind of a no-go. We're going to see if we can extend this a little further. Put our well there. And we are going to build. Anyway, there we are. We have some of our fun little land bats, and hopefully they'll leave us alone. We don't have to beat them up on camera. here we are, and this should extend our plot just a little further. We should be able to get something right down here. Now this does seem to have a hard limit. I've not been able to get snug up in there. I can't get inside the place, but you can see here. Well, I guess I can't really get much closer. This is about as close as we can get. So you can set up a place here if you want to get closer to the town. You know, we can set up a shack. Again, that's blue, so this is about... Well, this doesn't quite align, but that's okay. We can get a house down here if you don't want to travel the extra 10 feet from the top. But let us assume you're set up. You've got your house, if you have one. I do suggest it because you're going to get beat up a lot. But as you saw down there, we have water already. So you might want to know, does it actually work? And who had the water? Oh. Power, number of plants, condition. Okay, so this is actually good to go. This is good to harvest. We can see no hemp. And go ahead and mine that hemp, my friend. Look at him go. Just chopping away. It's a thing of beauty. The only downside to this is these are pretty small grows. However, it's also free. So that's also kind of hard to ignore. And then we can loot and we can see 19 hemp from that. And we have some hemp here, so you know, let's go ahead and loot. Okay, that's fair. And we'll just move those out. That's not a problem. I don't need them anymore. There we go. Now we're going to loot that. In you go. And is there any water over here somewhere, perhaps? Or is it all used up? I think it's all used up. Well, as you can see, it's empty, it needs water. But again, we have a mine, or a water mine. We have a water mine up there. We have a well. But all you need to do for that is go get your water, bring it in, use the machine, make your hash. And now that we have all that hash, well, and let's assume all this is ours. Where did the hash go? You're in that middle box, aren't you? There you go. That's some good hash. What can we do with it? Well, you can see our pricing on here. Again, we know it's not the most expensive of items, but we have our friends in the Flats Lagoon. And our friends in the Flats Lagoon, they're not too concerned with the hash trade. So we are going to go sell to them. Okie dokie, we are now in Flats Lagoon. And you can see here that not only do they not care that we have hash, but we're getting ourselves at least at this point here, a 442% markup on the from its average price. So that's not too bad. This is pretty good. You can see 100% fence chance. They don't care. Sell, 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 sell. And that's it. I've never had the gate guards check me to see if whether what I was carrying was illegal or not. I'm not saying they won't ever check you. I'm just saying they have never checked me. And we can see again, I don't even have to really zoom out the screen. We're that close. It's just it's a little jog over, and we have a place to sell all that hash. Could you find a better markup somewhere else? Maybe the United City, somewhere up here? Possibly. The pricing is seeded differently in each game, as I understand. So you may not always get the same price at the same place in every playthrough. So if you do set this up, you know, you may need to zip around, see who's going to give you the best pricing. But for something this close, it's kind of hard, just for the convenience of it, not to come over here to Flats Lagoon and just, you know, make bank. So there you go. If you've wanted to set up a drug empire in Kenshi and kind of didn't really want to go through the effort of doing so, well, there's plenty of little ad hoc ways that we can benefit and, you know, take over from someone else's hard work, which seems to sort of be how it works in the drug trade anyway. So, it's more like real life, I guess. So anyway, make lots of money.